Sports as we welcome you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready. Yellow lady. Let's go. Tight end Ringo. Tight end on Ringo.
Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
On third and long, it's Breeze. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. They forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 20 carries, 107 yards. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1, because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a golden watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. They'll look to throw here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They'll set up to throw. Flush to his right. This will be caught inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. In for the score. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Breeze now. Blitz coming, and down he goes. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
This is taken at the 15. So a change of possession here on the punt. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to loft one. Deep left side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. A big play that time for the Raiders. 65 yards. He'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. From 8 yards out. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. That's 2 really excellent drives for them to start this ballgame. Both ending with touchdown passes.
In big picture, they look great, don't they? Like a well-oiled machine right now. But let's down focus a little bit and talk about the guy calling the signals and throwing the passes. He is playing with precision right now, scanning the field and making excellent throws.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And a good job by the Raider defense yet again as they drop him for a second straight loss. On 3rd down, Elmore. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10.
Check 3.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. That one 28 yards on the ground. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 34. Jacobs now. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. So left side, it's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The Dolphins on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Now Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Breeze to here, Whitehead in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And not a whole lot to spend. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home...
It's caught at the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
Getting set to go again on offense. Here's Devontae Parker now. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Throwing again on 2nd down. Breeze. And the Raiders pick it up. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. From 17 yards out, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And he's going to go down again. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Here's Breeze to throw. It's complete to his tight end, Charles Clay. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down. So we've reached halftime. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big play that time for the Raiders. 66 yards. Looking to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on first and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like that memory was a little too long there.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. From his linebacker spot, Vontaze Burfict with a sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Breeze now to throw. And the pressure gets to him again.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow, maybe. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming. Back.
Running the toss here to Jacobs. And some space here. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. Give him 53 yards on the ground. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the run, this is Hunt. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit him over the top.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down.
Ready?
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Breeze now on 1st down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Check.
On 2nd down now. It's Hunt, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started with this lead and the football. Things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got it at the 15. A big play that time for the Raiders. 65 yards. They'll set up the throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Mike, 55.
They'll look to throw here. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A 12-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. After the sack on first down, Breeze, and he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. Here's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help. At the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, and suddenly the fumble, and you're under pressure. They got him again. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
To throw, it's Breeze. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Take it at the 37. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here.
This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vernon Butler in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They'll drop the throw. Rolling to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Taco Charlton, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Jacobs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Watch twins. By 52.
Now back to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to... And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone. A safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
You don't want that. Give it. Pick up the ball. Quick dance. Come. Sponge. No.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Space to maneuver at the 40. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Breeze, and that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Oakland, their strong September has carried over to October as they move to 5-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Miami, the calendar change to October didn't help as they dropped to 0-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire